We begin with the Occupy camp. It is still very much alive in Berkeley this morning. Ann Makovic is there where police moved in overnight to clear tents from Civic Center Park. Good morning, Ann.
That's right. There were a few skirmishes overnight, but as you can see here behind me, largely peaceful and several tents. Dozens of people remain here at Berkeley's Civic Center Plaza, and that is after police gave them a deadline of 10 o'clock last night to leave. Now, here's some video occupiers streamed on the internet overnight, a confrontation between campers and police just after 1 a.m. Police did take a few swats with their baton, and then they ended up backing off. Here's how one protester describes another skirmish.
And they came around the back with 2 trucks and multiple police cars and took tents and gear from the back. And when we ran to reinforce the back, they turned tail and were running. But we weren't doing anything. Nobody was throwing anything at her and whatever. I witnessed a police officer open his door on purpose to slam a person who was walking by with his laptop.
Now, police have not been available this morning to talk about their side of this on camera. This camp has been here since October, and it's steadily grown since raids at the Occupy Oakland and Occupy San Francisco camps. Many people just migrating over here to Berkeley. There were an estimated 60 to 100 tents here earlier this month, and there was also a lot of infighting amongst the campers. Police say there were growing sanitation concerns and arrests for battery, theft, and even assault with a deadly weapon. Back out here live now in Berkeley, you can see Berkeley High School there. That is right across the street from this Occupy camp, and that is one of the interesting things about the location here in Berkeley. It's right across the street also from City Hall and kitty corner from the police station. So that in some ways has made it more of a community area where people have been able to come and check out what's going on here. But then again, when you have school-age children, that was causing some of the concern for the city. We don't know what the city's next move is going to be. Of course, we'll be following it for you. Grace.
All right. Ann Makovic live in Berkeley. Thank you. At its peak, the Berkeley Occupy encampment had more than 100 tents. Tonight, a handful of tents remain, despite getting a notice to move out.
It's the last remaining Occupy movement in the Bay Area. As Joe Vasquez shows us, some protesters really are not ready to give up just yet, though. Joe?
Alan, take a look behind me. You can see there are about 7 tents left. The sprinklers are on. I watched the action unfold this afternoon as the Public Works Department came out to take down the abandoned tent with a large contingent of police behind. And that was not a raid. Many of the protesters assumed it was and voluntarily decamped.
You get a sense.
Occupy Berkeley is now largely unoccupied. Dozens of police officers moved in at 1 o'clock this afternoon, along with city public works crews.
Make sure there's nobody on the truck.
They quickly took down abandoned tents and picked up mounds and mounds of trash. The encampment in Civic Center Park had more than 100 tents at its peak a couple weeks ago. This morning, there were about 24 people left.
Unfortunate.
Daphne River, who called herself Dumpster Muffin when she participated in the tree-sitting demonstration a few years ago, says police and city crews didn't make it clear what they were doing today.
They just asked me if this tent was mine and started picking up people's belongings and throwing our things away.
That's out of line! That's out of line!
The camp's dismantling took place about 12 hours after an overnight confrontation.
You're breaking the law!
Last night, the city crews took some abandoned tents away, and then masked campers jumped on the truck and tried to reclaim them. Some officers raced back to the truck and shoved demonstrators away with their batons. Will this mean the end of the last large standing occupation in the Bay Area? The occupier known as Cincinnati says, don't count on it.
I'm not the whole group, but me personally, I ain't going nowhere.
Police told Cincinnati and Dumpster Muffin and the rest who were here this afternoon that, in fact, they will be enforcing the no lodging law overnight. So once again, at 10 o'clock, police say they'll be back out here. And remember, they gave that deadline last night, Alan, and really didn't enforce it. So it'd be interesting to see what happens tonight.
I know you'll watch it. Joe Vasquez, thanks.